can you be clean? You have to be clean. I go, I can do this. I have a clean 45 minutes. And he goes, awesome. I did not have a clean 45 minutes.
Before we get to our clip, do us a favor and click subscribe and that bell button below. 2/3 of people who watch us regularly aren't yet subscribed, and it really supports the channel when you do subscribe. It's free, costs nothing, and I really appreciate it.
All right, so what is Dry Bar, and how did you first make contact with them?
Dry Bar is a
Are they Mormon?
a subsidiary of Angel Studios.
Okay. Yeah.
Angel Studios does clean flicks, or they used to.
Yeah, I know the head guy.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, and they started with VidAngel, which turned into...
VidAngel.
Yeah.
So in Utah, you used to go, there would be Hollywood Video, and then there would be like the VidAngel Clean Flicks place. And that's where Mormon girls would want to go on a date, because they had a theater room for kids, but it was monitored by an adult. It's actually a really good idea. And I say kids, I mean teenagers.
Yeah.
And so that you're not like necking or going crazy. And then the movies are made watchable. So you can watch Silence of the Lambs. Well, this is a crazy,
It's a 5-minute movie.
I don't know how that would work, but
No.
because Mormons aren't allowed to watch rated R movies most of the time.
Okay.
I think as Catholics, we're like, yeah, drink a little, smoke a little, rated R movie, but just know that this is what's in there and make your own decisions. And I love that. I think this is a true church and we're correct about everything.
But I've already come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
But it is pretty badass the way that Mormons crush the family thing. They crush the sobriety thing. We have a lot to learn from them.
Right. And I'm from Utah, so a lot of my, goings on and understanding of things is through interacting with my Mormon friends and girlfriends I've had and things. But yeah, you would go to the Clean Flicks place or whatever, and then you'd watch Last Samurai, and there'd be a mysterious 5 minutes removed from it. I don't know what that was about, but so they ran that place, and so then they decide they want to make their own content, I assume.
Yeah.
And then they go, we should do some comedy. So they start Dry Bar. Dry Bar starts doing kind of good, and it's all clean comedy, and it's kind of hard to find clean comics at the time. Now Dry Bar is so successful that every comic's like, I'll write a clean 15. I got it. And so there's this guy named Keith Stubbs. He owns Wise Guys in Salt Lake City, Utah. I owe Keith my career. I love him like a brother and a father. He's one of the most important people in my life. Keith, I'm going to clip this and just show it to you so you can see me telling thousands of people how great you are. Keith Stubbs, a truly good man. Love him. He, despite me being dirty at the time and kind of a wild man in the comedy scene, he goes, do you want to do a Dry Bar? The charitableness and the kindness and the belief in me to ask me to do this is so beyond what I can even comprehend now. It's so cool of him to do this. I go, I can do it. And he's like, can you be clean? You have to be clean. I go, I can do this. I have a clean 45 minutes. And he goes, awesome. I did not have a clean 45 minutes. So I go, all right, I gotta start writing this. So I went on tour with a guy named Aaron Woodall, who's another beautiful, wonderful, great person who took a chance on me and took me on tour with him. And I work on this clean time, and I write it, and it's crushing. And I'm like, oh, it's actually not hard to write clean. You just simply don't swear, don't say gross stuff.
Meanwhile,
That's when he has a palsy spasm and he falls into my lap and proceeds to poop everywhere. Okay? It's so gross. It's so gross.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's not hard. I don't know why comics have
Now, do
such
they
a
have-
struggle with this.
Do they have rules about what they mean regarding clean?
Yeah.
And what does that
They're
look like?
cleaner than clean.
Yeah.
Because they give you a little video before you do it where they're like, no swearing, no whatever. They're like, no, we don't want you to talk about like hard drug use and stuff. We don't want you to disparage your wife.
Good.
Shout out Mormons.
Yeah.
Let's go,
Amen.
guys. I remember watching that and some people being like, oh yeah. And I was like, even back then as an 8 of 10 atheist or whatever, I was like, no, that rocks.
Yeah.
And so, so it's cleaner than clean, but I nail it. I'm like, okay, I got this. I got 45 minutes. I show up, I film it. The audience loves it. I'm like, yeah, this is what's up. And I kind of think, well, I made...
So, real quick, do you have to perform the 45 minutes to be accepted?
No.
They just trust that
They
you'll
just
be clean.
trust.
And
Well,
I
I
suppose
think
they're-
they trust Keith.
I see.
Yeah.
And they're filming it, and so I guess if things went off the rails, they just wouldn't publish it or something.
I know for a fact many people who have filmed their specials will never and have never been released.
Okay.
Because they either made mistakes or it wasn't good or it wasn't clean.
Yeah.
And there are comics who are like edgy and lame and contrarian. It's so dorky to be like, yeah, I'm cool, I do whatever I want, and get up there and say something inappropriate. Yeah. And then you get a laugh at the time because you're all in the room together and you're having a good time, and being inappropriate is fun sometimes. But that's not what you're being paid to do. Right. And they're not going to publish it, guy. Yeah. And then you go, well, they laughed, I don't know why you can't put it out there, because they didn't ask you they didn't ask you to make people laugh. They asked you to be clean and make people laugh. Yeah. Be a professional. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. I like that.
So, well, I mean, it's a great marketing idea because it's very cheap, presumably, right? People love watching a comedy special.
Yeah.
And they love trusting that it's going to be clean. I know I do.
Yeah. If someone tells you it's going to be and you have that night. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to go on a date night there. Like, I'd love to bring my wife there. And I'd be really disappointed if a guy got up there and was dirty.
It's all so, hey, when I film my next one, please come through. I have seats for you.
Thank you.
So yeah, it's going to be, so I go, I do it. It's great. I'm like blown away. But I think in my mind, well, I just made a little money. And then this is nothing.
Yeah.
I wrote this year, whatever. And then it just went viral.
Yeah.
You know?
And here what was that like? When did you realize this is doing better than usual?
I realized it was doing better than usual when someone posted the video to Reddit and it had like, it was on the front page of Reddit.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a Reddit guy. I also think that website is evil.
Yeah.
but it's on the front page Reddit and I go, whoa. And then I remember like Cooking with Babish. Is that the guy? This famous YouTube cooking guy was like he was the top comment being like, this is really good. I can't believe he didn't swear. And I'm just like, what? This is crazy. And that was it. I got like 10,000 Instagram followers overnight. Wow. I was like binging with Babish. Right. There it is. Yeah, dude. So I was just blown away. Yeah. And so that was that.
Yeah. So at that
off
point,
to the races.
You know, did you get an agent? Do you have a website where people can book you? How did that?
I didn't have a website for a long time. I didn't get an agent. I had like clubs be like, do you want to come play the club? And the very first club to ask me to play was American Comedy Company. Shout out to American Comedy Company in San Diego. They asked me to come play. I go, oh my gosh. Not the first place I headlined, the first place that asked me to come out of town to headline. Because my first headlining was in Wise Guys for Keith. Again, the man. So I go to American Comedy Company, I headline. It's this incredible experience. People show up. I'm blown away by this. Then an agent messages me and he does a thing called hip pocketing, which is when an agent is like, yeah, I'm going to get you gigs and I'm going to make you some money. But like, I have no obligation to you. We're not signing a contract. Right. I'll just get you gigs and you give me the money you owe me because I get you the gigs. And if I don't want you anymore, no problem. Yeah. And this is what most agents do because show business is evil and awful and terrible.